Good morning. Happy Friday. Hopefully, you guys are having a blessed day. Today was another good one. We had a great day with the cherry on top. A lot of people went short today, but I'm going to show you how we use the same pattern, same setups over and over and over again to catch that bottom bounce to the upside. Not really a bounce, but I just being funny with it. Today was over $800 for me on the future side. Got about 350 bucks or so on SPX, and I'm going to show you exactly how I took the trade and why I called that trade out today in the morning in our live stream room that we live trade every single day. We link arms and we rock and roll. But before we get started, I do want to say this. I do not win every single trade. I follow my three pillars of success. Trading your vehicle, trading your trading plan is vehicle or pillar one. Pillar two is staying consistent, and pillar three is risk management. Without any of those three, no matter what you're trading, you are going to fail. It's not it's not a matter of now. It's just a matter of when. Eventually something's going to mess up, especially with that risk management aspect. I've been there, done that. Trust me, trust me, trust me. So with that being said, if you want to take a look at my screen, I'm going to share with you how I day trade, how I swing trade, and how I invest, doing the same exact thing. And it's a repeatable process pattern over and over and over again. And we do it together as a community. So just do me a favor before we dive in. I want to know where you're watching this from. If you're watching a recording, post up in the comments where you're from. I love to see where everyone's from, whether you're from Idaho, whether you're from Hershey, Pennsylvania like me, whether you're from California, South Africa, Japan, India. I want to know where you're from. So let's see where we at. All right. So with that being said, today I trade stock options and futures, and coming in here to today, the same pattern, same setup. It is repeatable. You can see this right here. If I drop my things down, I got Swingmaster Pro AI and I have our Profit Pivots AI, two trading tools that are proprietary to our trading mastermind that we have that we do get to utilize together. So, all right, guess how we did today? Everybody, the market, red candle, wait for us to get to one of our pivots, and then we take a trade to the downside. If we have a green candle and it goes to one of our pivots, we take trades to the upside. Coming into today, we have red candles. We come down. I said, all right, guys, we might get the sell-off here, right? And we never pushed down. We bounced. Then we went from red to green. I said, ding, 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 ding. All right, team. We just transitioned from a bearish to a bullish tone. I would not be surprised, right, if we start pushing up. And if our candles stay green, there's a good chance we may go from red to green, especially after the huge red day yesterday. That's exactly what we got. It's crazy. I shook the crystal ball. Just kidding. I got the iced coffee. That keeps me rocking and rolling. But hey, we called it, and it is on the recording. And we rocking it. But that's kind of some of the experiences that I can bring to the table, being in the trading space over the last nine and a half years. Since 2016 really is when I got started. And I see a lot of the same things continuing to play out over and over and over again. Is crazy. So back to the trading side. We got green. We come up here. We hit this pivot. We box it in. We take a breakout right there. Here's our stop out. And then guess what? This trade goes from 718 up here to 26. That's $400 of profit. You're never going to sell out at that very, very tippy top high, trust me. But can you have gotten $100 and $200 of this move? Absolutely. And that is a textbook day trade. So then you come in here again. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so that you can see. And here's some more setups, right? So we're 1-0 for the day right there. Then we come down, we get the pivot break right here. And guess what? Now you're 2 trades for the day, all right? Then we come back down here again. We reset back up, and we have another pivot break right there. Boom, to the upside. After those 3 trades, I was simply done for ES because my goal is to trade for the first 30 to 45 minutes, and then I want to go enjoy my day. I want to spend time with my family. My kids are in school. My wife and my youngest daughter is right upstairs above us. So I like to go up there and make them breakfast, make them lunch. I like to go to the gym. I get to pick my kids up from school. It's a blessing, you know, and I want to keep on rocking it. So the reason I do things the way that I do is because if I could day trade for, we'll just say an hour a day, right, from 9:30 to 10:30, then we have the rest of the day to do whatever we want. And the reason I can do that is because, for one, we can make a decent amount of profits, for one, and for two, we have other trading vehicles that we participate in, whether you're swing trading, whether you're investing. I got an investing account, I have a swing trade account. So there's multiple streams that are coming into one big snowball. And that's true diversification and true success over time. But that is just my opinion. Hey, I'm going to keep rocking it that way. So, with that being said, ES, we're done. As you see, we've got another pivot break right there. People took advantage of that. Another pivot break right there. People took advantage of that. Today, everybody went short. We went long, and the market's still trending to the upside, right? The same exact thing over here on NQ, where the star's at. It is another futures symbol. Same thing. Thought we were going to take a short down there. Never happened. Came up, called out the long right there, and I was done with NQ. This trade right there was enough to give us 855 up here to 975. That is 125 NQ points. That's 500 NQ ticks. That you can be done with that one trade right there. Typically, if I get 10 or 20 NQ points, that's an acceptable win. But this one just pushed up so far so fast that from right here at 55, ended up stopping me out about 90, 91 or 90. Maybe even a little bit before that on the pullback. But guess what? It's all good because, you know what we like to say? Bummer, green bag. The reason I share these recaps is so that our team that has our tools, they like to get a recap so that they can compare and contrast their entries with exactly what I called out in the live room, for one. For two, they can watch these and get prepared and understand why I'm calling out some of the things I'm calling out, because there is no crystal ball. This is the crystal ball right here, right? And it's just, like I said, staying consistent and taking them same setups over and over and over again, you know? So with that being said, right, we're gonna keep moving along. So ES and NQ was phenomenal trades this morning. Then you come over here where the square's at, right? I'm gonna put a smiley face in our square because it's a great day. It's Friday. We get to go enjoy the weekend. Get to do whatever we want. And we're gonna come back and do it again next week, right? We don't know what each day is going to present itself, but we do know we can take the same pattern and set up over and over. Guess what? Bars red, called out the short right there on CL. Boom, you're done. And guess what? There's your trade. One trade on CL, and that was a good one. Now, you could say, well, I only trade stock options. I'm going to show you two. We watch multiple stock options. We watch SPY, we watch Qs, we watch Amazon, we watch SPX, we watch Tesla. We called out a breakout on Tesla today. Right here, guess what? The candles are green. We called out a break right there, hit our pivot, and as you can see, a lot of people was able to hold this and sell out right in here. Then some people took the breakout right here. I had someone take the breakout and came back because they wanted more profits, and it was still valid. Never came close to the stop, and then ended up pushing up. And I'd explain them this, right? So when you take a stock option on today's expiration, like we do, sometimes, right? And this is a little training, right? Sometimes we will take a trade right here, and when you buy a stock option, you could spend 200 bucks. From here, your 200 bucks is worth 400 bucks. You're up 100% ROI. That is a phenomenal ROI. Guess what? The banks don't even give you, they don't even give you 5 or 6% ROI for the year, and you just made 100% in one trade in one day in less than 1 hour. That's phenomenal, right? Now, the problem with why people lose on options is because, especially on the same day expiration, you might be up 100% here, and then it might fall back to right here, and now you're down 30%, or we'll just say 50%, right? So even though we entered it right there, we went up so much in our favor, and now we're down 50%. In theory, if this trade goes up, and you wouldn't be down 50, you might be down 20 or 30, maybe 40, but we'll just say 50 for this. If we come back up to this same area, you should be back up your 100%, but you're not going to. You might only be up 10 or 20% at this time. And then as it keeps pushing up, you might be back up 100% way up here. So the first time on a same day expiration, when you get a move in your favor, protect yourself because your account doesn't move until you take profits. Then if you withstand this pullback and it comes right back up to the same area you were up 100% before, you're not going to be up 100%. And that's why a lot of people struggle with options because they see these people posting on Facebook or social media, well, I made 1,000% ROI today. Well, yeah, that's possible, you know, and if they did do that, awesome. But sometimes, right, if you're putting in 10 or 20 or $30 into a trade and it's going up to $100 or $110, yeah, you just made 700 or 800%. But I mean, you're really only risking 10 or 20 or $30, right? I think it's more important to understand if you're risking $500 to $1,000 and you're getting 25 to 50%, you're making a lot more money leveraging a little bit more money, right? And it's a lot safer, you know. So I don't get it into the hype. What I'm getting at is I don't get into the hype of everyone saying, "Well, I just made 700% or 7,000%," because there's other things that I would like to know, like, well, what was the option price you got? Did you have to buy more when it went against you, or are you simply buying a 20-cent lotto ticket or a lotto option, and one time of the month it goes 1,000%, but then the other 19 days you're losing all 100%. You get what I'm saying? So, but it's all good, you know. In the end, I just want us all to make more so that we could bless more, and really, really, um, come back into come give back and make the world a better place for all, you know. So really that's my goal, and if they win on that, hey, I love to see it because I want us all to win, you know. So that's how we traded Tesla this morning. One of the next stock that we called, SPX, we actually had this reversal right here. We pushed down, it didn't break, came up, called out a breakout, and I got stopped out right in there, and I only made about 320 or $30. But it's still a winning trade. You know, there's some people, had I been holding it to up here, I'd be up about 3 grand, but it's all good. I got stopped out. Got stopped out with my 4 contracts. So end up making about 80 cents a contract after it stopped me out, which is messed up because I was up a lot more and I wanted in a larger trail stop. So if what happened to me today, I took the trade, took the breakout right here, because everything else was pushing up, and I really wanted to see it get above there. And as it came up, right, it pushed up. It ended up coming back a little bit and then getting me out and then pushing. I'm like, oh, you bugger. But it's another thing where we say bummer, green bag. Now, the true heat in this strategy is simply where we're using these AI Lotto lows and AI Lotto highs as option targets because those specific options have a high probability to go 50 to 100%. A lot of times, if we go up 30, 40%, I recommend going risk free because there's a lot of people that follow along or participate, I like to say. So I just want everyone to protect themselves and go risk free on a Friday, especially. I love to end Fridays at a wonderful green bag, you know. So that right there is how we day trade. Now you could say, well, Brandon, I don't day trade, Mob. I only swing trade. Day trading's this, that. That's fine. That's your opinion. But I'll share with you exactly how we swing trade, right? I'm going to pull up SPY because we were looking at SPX. Let's pull up SPY here. And let's change this to a daily time frame. Same pattern, same setup, over and over and over again, right? Check this out. What if I told you swing trading could be as easy as a green candle, green arrow, not a red candle, green arrow, a green candle, green arrow, and or a red candle, red arrow? Well, guess what? Here's 1, here's 2, here's 3, here's 4, here's 5, here's 6, here's 7, here's 8. Guess what? Does price expand over the next week or two? Yup. A couple days, normally 1 winner, 2 winner, 3 winner, 4 winner, 5 winner, 6 winner, loser, 6 and 1, 7 and 1. There's 7 winners and 1 loser waiting for a repeatable process if you like to swing trade. Swing trading is perfect for those that cannot dedicate an hour a day for day trading or are tied up during that morning session. They can come back to their computer, or not their computer, their phone or the community, and see who's posting this at the end of the day at 3:30. Then we could take our entry, or we wait until the next day to take our entry, and that's how we rock it. So we can swing trade with a plan. right? Very simple, very simple, very simple. In the end, it goes back to those three pillars of success: risk management, trading your plan, and staying consistent, right? Now, that brings me into my last phase. And we have other swing trading techniques. I'm just briefly going over why we would do something like we do, so you can get a preview of it. I'm going to go to the investing side, right? The investing side is like the real estate where you're buying houses, right? And I'm gonna come right here and just put it simply right here. And this is kind of how it works. Well, I'll start it over here because sometimes it doesn't pay out in hours or days sometimes, but sometimes it does. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for an investment. So if you can't day trade, you can't swing trade, but you have money that you want to put into the market, simply wait for a high probability entry, right? So here, with that being said, here's a buy, here's another buy, here's a buy, and here's another buy, right? What happens is let's just start off where we have $1,000, 1K, right? And we put 500 bucks into this trade right here. Well, if it goes against me, man, I'm down. If the stock market's a scam, blah blah blah. And then we get these buys right here, and you put another $500 in for a total of 1K, right? So now your cost average is roughly about right there, because if you bought it here and you bought it there, you got to meet it in the middle of about 413, right? So 413 up here, you have 1K. Up at this tippy point right here, your 1K is up about 50%, and it's about $500 or $1,500, right? You know, I'm about to tell you, you want to sell out and bring 1K back to the side, and now you got $500 into this trade, right? And then we fall back down, we come back up. You can put another 500 bucks into this, so now we have $500 on the side, and now we have 1K into our position, and your cost average is here, and you're buying, so now you're in this about 450, and it actually goes up, right, from 450 up here to 672. It was actually a little bit higher, almost 700 bucks, right? And if your cost average is at 450, 550, 650, that's 250. That's another 50%. So now your 1K up in this area is roughly $1,500, right? Sell out, let 1K ride for free because we don't know how high it's going to go, and bring 500 back. Now we have 1K into the pot. All right. Also keep in mind, SPY, these three dots right here, these blue dots are called dividends. You get a small percent just for holding these shares. So there's a small percent. There's another small percent. It might be 1%, 1, 2, 3, coming up here to 4. So you got to think about that. All right. You get a small percent for holding those. But now we're investing in SPY, which is the top 100 companies in the S&P 500, with a free $500 or $1,000 and we have 1K on the side. Then we come into something like Ethereum, which everyone knows Ethereum, and we do this same process over again, right? Now you look here for all the buys. Here's a buy, here's a buy, here's another buy, right? So check it out. Now you put in 500 bucks right here, right? You got $500 off to the pot. Well, 8 up here to 16, your 500 is 1K, right? Then at 16, at 24, you're at 1,500. At 32, you're at 2K. You know what I'm about to tell you? Sell out, right? Let $500 ride again because that was your initial investment. So now you got $1,500, and now we have a total pot because we used 500 from this 1K. Now we have a total of 2K off to the side while we're waiting for this, and we have $500 into the market. Then price comes back down, and we hit right here. And let's say you want to put in 1K into this trade right there. Well, if you bought it down here and you put an average in right there, your average is about $16. Once it goes up here to 32, your 1K, right, is worth 2K up there. All right, sell out, let 1K ride for free, bring 1K back. Now you have $2,500. 2,500 bucks there for free. Then we reset, we come back down, we have another entry, right? And now you put another, let's just say you put 500 bucks in. Now you got $1,500 into this pot. And now your cost average is roughly about right here, about 26 or like 22. And it goes up here to 42. There's almost another 100%. We'll just say 90%. So then your 1,500 is worth 2,500 here, right? And now you pull out, you let 1K ride, you got 1,500, you're bringing back. Now you have $3,500 for free on the side that we can do this with another company, and you still got $1,000 in Ethereum and $1,000 into SPY. That is two great companies that you can hold for a long haul. The reason why I tell you to take profits, and this is what a lot of people struggle with, and I do as well, as far as like buying something I hold forever. Think about this. I mean, now I don't, but I'm saying in my beginning days, 100% did, because I'm like, I'm gonna buy and hold it forever. Well, what if you bought Target and it went up 800%, and then you're back down to zero? What did you really make on that position? You can always keep some piece of money into that, right? So think of it like this. If you had 1K right here, right, at $8 and 8, 16, 24, 32, your 1K is worth 4K right here, right? And you're holding it, and then it comes back down to here again, your 4K is back to 1K again. So let me ask you this. Would you leave 3K turning back to zero? At what point do you take some profits? Like I just shown you how to invest with an edge. At what point do you take some profits so that you're able to grow your account? Do you see the power of why we do these recaps, and why I show you how we can day trade, swing trade, and invest for a plan, right? And then your 1K back up here is worth 4K. So guess what? You just wasted, right? In 23, you just wasted 2 years. 1K went to 4K, back to 1K, went to 4K. Guess what? 2 years, your 1K went to 4K. That's great, but you could have done this. You could have taken your 1K up to 4K, parked 3K back, and then as we come back down again, got another buy and put in another a grand or 2 grand. So then you have a total of 3K down here. And as it pushes up, now your 3K might be 6K, right? And you sell out. And now you got 5K and you bring some back. Guess what? Now you got 6K on the side here because your 3K had 1K left. We just sold out 5K. Now we have 6K on the side on this investment, right? While we have $1,000 into this. So technically our 1,000 turned into $7,000, but you're still having skin in the game, and we're potentially getting another reset here, right? We're getting a nice on sale reset. All right. So with that being said, would you rather take 1 grand and hold it to 4 grand, or would you rather take 1 grand and turn it into 7 grand? This is how we outperform a typical buy and hold individual. Does that make sense? And you don't have to guess like, I'm going to dip by here, dip by here, dip by here, dip by here. Oh, it keeps falling. You ever hear of the thing trying to catch a falling knife? Don't do this, right? Here's your knife, and then here's your ridges. You don't want to capture that, because if it hits something, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting crazy now. It's Friday. I'm feeling good. So I just wanted to show you a trading recap of why we did what we did today, why I called out the trades that I called out, have faith in the system, and how we day trade, swing trade, and invest with a plan. With that being said, I appreciate you guys. If you ever want to day trade with us or swing trade and check out what we do, just comment beast mode in the box. We'll reach out to you and get you situated into our group and our community, and I'll show you exactly what we do. And you know what they say? What's work when you're having fun? So with that being said, you guys have a blessed one. Catch me on the next one. Beast mode out.